welcome everybody to this episode of Semi Sages of the Pages.
Woohoo! Hello.
Yay!
It is great to see you all. I can't see any of you, but hopefully you can see me.
We can see each other.
That's true. We can see each other, and the audience, you can see us too.
And there may or may not be a cat near Molly, or maybe it's a
Ooh,
Go.
spooky
Oh.
cat. Ooh,
Appearing and
spooky.
disappearing.
visual effects.
Thank you for joining us today. Today, we're just going to focus on some first page critiques. So you guys have submitted us your first pages. We've got a little bit of a backlog. And so we're going to read some today, give you some feedback, and talk just a little bit about the horror genre. I see in the chat, we've got Santi. Hi, Santi. Welcome.
Hi, Santi.
Welcome anybody else who is here. But yeah, I think Morgan, you wanted to talk just a little bit, maybe a couple minutes about what's a thriller, because we've got some first pages that are kind of thriller horror based here.
Santi, you are definitely going to want to stick around for first pages today because we're talking about suspense thriller, which I know is what you write. And everyone else who writes in that genre is also one of the genres that I write in. So one of the things that I think is really challenging when we write in the suspense thriller space is knowing the difference between what is suspense and what is thriller. So like the dictionary definition of suspense is it's like a slow, gradual build to the climax where the tension is just kind of, getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And then the big release at the climax, where the thriller is more fast paced. It just throws you in and there's constantly stakes. And, the pace of it is a lot just faster. Anything else I missed?
No, I think you got that right.
So tell us in the chat if you're listening, if you write suspense or thriller. We'd love to know which one you prefer. I prefer thriller because I like just that not being able to put the book down.
Ooh, I like suspense. I love the idea of building things up. And I love not only writing that, but I love watching and reading suspense as well. And just that, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. My challenge with it, both as a reader, viewer, and then as writing it, is the payout. Did the payout match the level of suspense? And we all know from horror movies, how many times do you get to that like climax where you get to see the monster and you're like, oh, yeah, that wasn't scary.
Mm-hmm.
The suspense was the scary part.
Mm-hmm.
I think I prefer to read thrillers, but to watch suspense.
Ooh, good distinction.
Oh, I would agree. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that distinction.
Especially for me, like suspense is so much more suspenseful and it's so much more gripping when it's visual. There's something about it that, you start seeing little Easter eggs. You start seeing like the weird shadows or the things in the background, which can be very challenging to do in writing sometimes. And I have sometimes you don't pay super close attention when you're reading. Maybe that's just me. So it's easier when
I know
it's
what you
faster
mean.
pace and it's like more direct. I know what's happening and I'm directly being propelled through the story.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. If I'm excited to know what's coming next, I start skimming. And with a suspense book, you miss a lot of like the visceralness because you're like, I just want to know what's going to happen. And
bring me to the door. Open the door. Open the door.
So
Open the door.
Yes, you don't enjoy the moment as much, maybe.
Yeah.
You don't
But
relax the character.
the second time you read it, then you get to see all those cool nuances that the author has put in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. So that might be a genre that people are more likely to read more than once.
Oh, good point.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Yeah, interesting.
And we do have Santi in the chat said that they were just listening to Thriller from MJ. I don't know what that means, but cool.
Michael Jackson Thriller.
Oh, Thriller.
Right?
Let's not get to it. We can't sing any more of that song.
I love it. Well, I have a lot of suspense to get to first pages. Can we do it? Can we just do it?
Heck yeah.
Okay, so let me I'm so lucky I get to read one of them today, and I'm so happy. Okay, so are you ready? Let me just make this a little bigger.
Ready?
Okay, run. Okay, I just called the sheriff and the cops. He said he's going to be here within 20 to 25 minutes. Is he dumb? 20 to 25 minutes? What are we going to do? Said an innocent man. Where are you? I just want to play with your heart. A weird voice came from behind me. Somebody was walking through the school. There was a doctor and someone innocent hiding, breathing heavily. I found you. First heart collected for the murderer, the doctor, and then the innocent. The murderer is in an escaped jail. How he went to jail is because he collects hearts. He says he was helping a demon feed someone to stay alive, to help others stay alive. He says he's making a heart for the others. 15 more minutes until the sheriff and cops get here. Where are you? Shut up, the doctor says. The innocent man crouches, but then accidentally drops a book. Somebody turns his head so fast, then runs towards the noise. Run, says the doctor, run! Trying to run from the murderer. Something falls down. He couldn't run fast enough, and soon he's getting stabbed in the ribs. A slow, twisting laughter fills the room. The doctor runs. And that's it.
Wow. That's definitely a lot of thriller right there.
It's very visceral. I mean, like, it's like, go. The first word is run.
Yeah. That's a great opening line because all of a sudden you're like, why? Me?
Yeah,
Something
who's
behind
needing
me?
to run? Do I run?
Yeah.
Are you running? Are we all running?
Who's running?
Well, it's interesting because there's 3 people in this scene, and so it's kind of hard to keep track of them, which is a little bit distracting, but then that also works because in some ways it works. I think it needs an edit. That would be my even better if, is to go through and clean it up. But in some ways it's like really increases the suspense because for a while you're like, wait, which one got stabbed?
You have to live in the chaos, and the chaos is adding to the moment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so like I'm paying attention, like as I'm reading it, I'm like thinking as I'm reading it. I'm definitely not like, sometimes when I read, I just gloss over. And this time I was fully like trying to read it to understand who is in danger because the stakes were on the page like right away.
Yeah. You know what it kind of reminded me of is those true actiony things where, like, you know, you got the camcorder or the camcorder. I just dated myself. The iPhone that's recording, and that's what's showing up on the screen, and it's all flickery and it's gray and green and it's flickering, and people are running and there's stuff going on, and you're like, what is happening here? And you know, there's shadows moving, and you're like, is that a person? Is that a deer? What's going on? This definitely reminded me a lot of that, where you're like, I don't understand, but I want to know what's coming next.
I'm almost reminded of a radio play.
Yeah. So a radio play for people who may be younger would be where they would literally go on.
You're the youngest one of us.
But she's too young for radio plays also. Where they would literally go on the mics and read with different voices, but there would be no visuals.
Mm-hmm. Like an audiobook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, radio play is interesting. If that's something you've never heard about, check it out. There's like all sorts of older ones and some newer ones too that are in like podcast format, stuff like that. And they're just audio only stories. And they tend to be a little more dramatic and dialogue focused than audiobooks. It's usually like just audio and then like sound effects and stuff like that too.
That's because they have different actors play the roles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think even better if my like initial blown away, like Morgan said, how visceral this piece is. How like boom, it draws you in. Like there are some lines in there, like what was the line about the grabbing the hearts? The first one, where I think Teresa,
I just want to play with your hearts. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh!
Yep. Me and you both went. We'll have to change our thumbnail to that now. But like that
We'll
line,
definitely get demonetized for that.
There are some lines in there that are like just chef's kiss, like beautiful kind of lines that draw you in, make you want to read more, make you be like, okay, something weird's happening, and it's suspense horror, and I'm here, or thriller, whatever. Yeah, sorry, got confused there, but it's great. It's great.
My even better if is a couple times I had to clean the sentences just a little bit to like make sense of where the characters were. So just breaking the paragraphs a little bit so that it's like so it's easy to tell who's speaking. And then instead of calling it like the innocent man or the doctor, I think give them names, or if you're gonna go more generic like that, I think maybe that's a choice, maybe it's a good choice, but I wonder why. Like what makes somebody innocent? Like it seems almost too generic. I mean, maybe you could play that up. Maybe there's genius in that. I think as it is now, you need to either choose to play that up. So like maybe the innocent man is actually the murderer, the murderer is actually the innocent man. But right now it just feels hard to understand like it feels almost too simple. So I would either go one way or the other, give them names or else play up their titles.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. And I think as much as I really did enjoy the like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? I don't quite see it. I think a little bit more continuity and clarity about what's going on.
Yeah.
Or own that is exactly what you're going to do. Work with an editor to really, really hone in on that chaos, because it's a very fine line between chaos that the reader identifies it as chaos and I don't understand, I'm going to close the book, and that's what you don't want.
Yeah, and it's right at that line right now, so I think just some cleaning would be fantastic. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, and you could even look at, this is a crazy idea for you, crazy idea alert, check out like free verse poetry. Because wouldn't this be, maybe not what you're going for, but something to think about? Because when you're in free verse, you can really play with the rules, really go a little different and crazy. So something to think about if that's how you want your story to go. You could maybe, play with structure, play with grammar, play with even physically how it's on the page if you made it into free verse. Doesn't have to be, but it's a thought.
That's good. That's awesome. All righty.
Do we have another one?
Are we at time?
Are we at time already?
Yeah, we're going fast today. All right.
Awesome. So we get to tell our listeners about how amazing our rollout is. Like we have some like big things coming, like drum roll. If you've always wanted to write a book, we're going to help you do this, right? So we have some really exciting things coming. We're going to completely change our branding and reach out so we get to have more interaction with you and walk you through the writing process as authors and get more excited about taking your ideas to the page and getting the most out of your ideas. So that's all going to be coming very, very soon. And until then, we're going to keep our episodes really short and sweet. Did I miss anything, Teresa?
No, I think that's probably one of our biggest changes that you're going to notice is that we are no longer doing the 1 hour episodes. We are going to stick to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And really, really target the information we're going to try to get to you all. So you're getting the information in a quick amount of time. Because all of us are busy. I mean, let's be honest here. Most writers are in school and have day jobs as well. So we want to get you the information you need so you can spend your time writing.
Yeah. And this is like super exciting for our young writers. So if you're still like in high school or middle school or college and you're older and you're just coming up with an idea, we're like really excited to help you take your ideas and get it all the way through so you can have your own book, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, we're super, super excited about this next chapter for us. So watch for the rebranding. We're going to keep doing our 15-minute episodes as we work through our to-do list, and we'll announce our rebrand soon.
I was going to say, stay tuned to this space. Next week, we're going to have our last of our longer episodes. Yeah. And then after
not very long, but yeah.
Yeah. Longer episodes. And then after that, while we're working on our rebrand material, while we're coming up with all of this and finalizing everything, we're still going to be on the air every Wednesday. And mostly we're going to be doing live shows every Wednesday, meeting up with you guys, talking, doing first page critiques. We've got a couple of hopefully interesting interviews planned out. So stay tuned. We're not going away, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Any
Thank you,
final
everyone.
comments that we need to read or anything before we remind people to like and subscribe, check us out on our Discord, and get really excited for what's coming?
And please tell your friends. If you have writing friends, please tell them to come and start listening. We're super, super excited about what we're going to be doing to help authors. So yeah, stay tuned.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.